Good morning, everybody. I'm not used to starting. You may notice it's just me. Somebody get Yeller. Carlos is lost. I hope he's okay. We're not sure what happened to him. We're sorry for being late here this morning. He's missing. So we'll try and find him. We'll get him back. He'll be fine, I'm sure. But in the meantime, yeah, he's missing in action. He was a good man. We did like him. All right. Hold on. Get this chair of clothing out of the way. Okay, now it looks a little more professional. Okay, we do have stuff to talk about this morning. Welcome to Tuesday, October the 1st. It is the first day of October. I can't believe we're in October. Not only does the weather not feel like October here, but the markets don't feel like October. So I don't know what's going on. Something in the water out there, but we will soldier on, and all we can do is take the days as they come. Let's start by looking at the economic calendar. See, we do have a couple of things happening. Nothing early morning, but mid-morning, there is actually a whole lot of stuff coming out. It's PMI day and JOLTS day, which is the job openings. So at 9:45, we start with the S&P manufacturing PMI. Then at 10 o'clock, we have the ISM manufacturing PMI. I have to get all those acronyms right. And then construction spending and the job openings. I would say of all of those, the job openings is the most impactful number. It's the one that people tend to look at most to see how the economy is doing and whether we're continuing in the right direction, right? In theory, a higher number of job openings would theoretically be good for the market because that would mean the Fed can remain on their path of rate cuts. But this market has been weird, so you never know what to expect. I don't know actually what's going to be good or not. Probably the best we could do is if the number comes out right on target, around 7.7 million, that's probably good because then the market doesn't do anything weird. Unless you really like the big movements and you're not in a trade at 10 o'clock, then you want it to be way off. It probably doesn't matter whether it's high or low. You're just going to have to wait and see what happens because honestly, I'm not sure that we can predict. 11 o'clock, 11:10 actually, Lisa Cook, one of the Fed governors, speaks, and then the afternoon should be quiet. So that's what I'm chasing on the calendar for today. Later this week, we do have some other good numbers, right? It's all employment this week, right? We have the ADP employment comes out tomorrow morning, jobless claims on Thursday. So we're going to continue in this theme for this week, and we'll see what the numbers bring us and how they change the market. How was your trading yesterday, everybody? Because I know that I found the trading to be a little better than it was last week, right? A few more opportunities that continued. The moves were longer and deeper, both down and up. So I actually enjoyed that. I thought it was a decent day. Didn't have many trades, but the ones that I did worked out quite well for me. So, yeah, not a bad day of trading. As I look forward today, we had earnings with Carnival Cruise Lines yesterday. It was really the only thing that had earnings. And then after the close yesterday, we had nothing. And then before the market opened this morning, we really don't have much of anything. So, which means I got to default really just to the gappers list. We'll see what's happening on the gappers list and what it means in the markets. So let's get right to that. We will start by looking at what's at the top of the gappers and try and make some decisions out of it. Now, I'll ask for everybody's patience. Just keep in mind, I got to do 2 jobs here. So I got to remember, how to get everything moving here and get the charts and the data and keep talking at you. So here we go. Which, by the way, if anybody's out there on our team that really wants to jump in, I'll take the help. But here we go. Okay, DJT, surprisingly for me, I think, at the top of this list, It's gapping here by what is it, about 7%, 1.2 million shares, which is pretty decent for it pre-market here. They did make an announcement late, well, just after the close yesterday, that they're. I love when they get these announcements actually on Trump media. The announcement states that they are expanding their TV streaming delivery network. I like that. Amuses me because did any of you even know that they had a TV streaming delivery network? And what are they delivering over that network? I have no idea. But now it's going to be a multi-site operation as opposed to the basement it was operating out of before. Sorry, that's uncalled for. Whatever's happening, they're expanding it, and the stock is going up. Somebody is buying it, and there you go. So, hey, this might be in play. If it's in play, I really doesn't matter, right? For any further than that, they can just do whatever they're doing as long as people are playing the stock and we can get some money out of it. So DJT might be in play. Probably, I might watch it for entertainment purposes, but I can't imagine really trading it. I haven't traded it at all. So, okay, something else that just jumped to the top of the list here. I'm going to take a look and see if it's worth our time. MTSI, being that it just jumped on the list, nope, it's got nothing there. Now, I don't have our advanced list that Carlos got, so I may have a lot of garbage that we're going to have to go through. We're going to have to get Brent to queue up all the garbage trucks for me. MSTI can definitely go in the bin. AVT in the bin. HMY, Harmony Gold, also binnable. How about NEO? Let's halt there for a minute. NEO actually gave some decent trading yesterday. I was quite surprised. You've heard me say many times how I don't like NEO because it's largely traded by the computers, just trading against each other. And yesterday, though, there was decent price action for most of the day. If I look at NEO, let's go to yesterday. You like me. Oh, sorry. Let me show you what the day looked like here. You can see pretty much when the computers started, right? Sometime after 2 o'clock, around 2:30. See how it just goes flat like that? That's when you can tell the computers are trading. If I dig in even closer, let's bring in some data here. I'm looking at a 1-minute chart for yesterday. Let's show you the day. Oh my goodness, I have to hit all the right buttons. It's harder to see. Okay, let's do this. See the morning? Okay trading. It's moving okay. As we progress through the day, though, you can see how it starts to around, let's go to 2 o'clock, 2:30. You can see how it goes from this nice price action to this sideways price action operating within a penny. And then by the time we're getting to the close, it's starting to barcode. So this is the type of thing you want to avoid. So, hey, NEO could have a good secondary play. Remember, Chinese markets are closed today. Actually, they're closed today, tomorrow, and Thursday, I think. So, there's going to be some, I don't know, I don't think there's going to be a lot of movement because they're going to get out of sync with the Chinese offerings, and therefore they're going to have to, they're unlikely, the big money is unlikely to want to move it too far because they could get caught when the catch-up happens. So I think for the time being, we'll just have to be a little bit cautious on anything Chinese related. NEO doesn't look great pre-market. Like, I don't love the price action, but there's 5 million shares traded. The volume surprises me. So perhaps it will be in play if it's a stock you like to watch. Anybody out there trade NEO? If you did, let me know. I'll be curious because I look at this. It looks tough today, but if you traded it yesterday, let me know how it went. And look, I'm not alone anymore. I feel loved again. Carlos, you're alive. We were sending Yeller after you.
No, I'm here live and well, my friend. How you doing today?
I'm good. You've got a little. You do sound like you're in the well. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Why does it sound like an echo? Where's it coming from?
Is the room volume on, or the YouTube volume, or something?
Let me check.
Anyway, he's alive.
We'll check what's going on. Yeah, I can't tell where that echo's coming from. I don't. Oh, I think. I have no idea, man.
Check. You're just in your man cave today.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, Peter, keep going. I'll move volume and we'll figure this out. But yeah, keep going for now. We'll figure what's going on.
Now, it looks like you've done some redecorating, Carlos, because I actually see a table behind you, not just a blank wall. So it looks like things are moving around there. Have you got carpet?
Yes, I do have carpet. So yeah, things are finally coming into place, man. So getting comfortable by the minute, that's for sure. But yeah, I got my desk,
All
my
right.
setup back the way I had it before. So things are looking good.
Okay, well, there you go. Okay, guys, I've been scanning through the list while we've been talking here, trying to stay ahead of things. On my list, Carlos might have the better one, but I'm still going off of my old list here of gappers. I see Ford is on the list. Bringing up Ford, I mean, the price action looks absolutely horrible, even worse than NIO. They do have some news. They got an upgrade from Goldman Sachs. They actually rated them a buy. You got to love when you're looking at a stock like Ford, though. They're a buy, and they raised their price from $12 to $13. So not super aggressive, frankly. But that being said, I can see how Ford's price has stayed largely within like a 60 to 70 cent range here for the last month and a half. So yeah, Ford never been a big mover. Sort of weird, how like a lot of the auto manufacturers are moving, especially if you're an EV company. But if you're a GM or a Ford, you just can't get your stock to move. I mean, it's a little weird. They've had some issues on the EV side of Ford. They started really strong with the Mach E, right? The pretend Mustang a while back, and they just have not made good on it. The F-150 Lightning has had all sorts of electrical issues. I know that they've got a campaign where they're giving away the chargers. So so they're ramping up the promotions, trying to get some market share in here. But it's been a sort of a tough time for Ford, and the stock prices reflected that. So probably not much in play. All right. I said I don't have a lot on my gap up list, but there are a few things that I do want to talk about that are gapping. We might as well stay in the automotive theme and talk about Tesla. Actually, even sounds weird to me to say, I call Tesla an automotive company. I mean, of course it is, but I think of it more like a technology company. But anyways, we've been talking about a couple of things that we're waiting for. The deliveries is the most immediate one, right? Third quarter deliveries are coming out, and they have not come out yet. I don't know what time. I haven't seen it yet. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, it comes out tomorrow. All right, before the market opened tomorrow, we should see deliveries. Right, Wednesday. We said that yesterday. I forgot. I thought, it's October 1st, right? We got to get the delivery numbers. But it'll be tomorrow. So it should be around 462,000 cars is what everybody's expecting for Q3. So if we hit that number, then Tesla should be good to go. If we're well under it, well, you'll see what happens. I mean, look at the daily, though. I love where the daily sits. Tesla's really poised for something big to happen tomorrow. Probably not today, because we're sort of near these is it all-time highs? It seems to me we were higher. Oh yeah, we were higher. Of course, felt like we were higher. But anyways, a recent high. We're in here, right? 270 would be that area. I mean, if we get some good movement today, maybe, but I don't really expect it. I think we're going to get like just a little bit of movement today, waiting for the delivery number tomorrow. And because we're sitting up here, like I said, we're either going to bust through 270, probably all the way to 280 would be my guess if they exceed the delivery numbers. And if they're well under, well, then we could see a drop. Again, big drop, probably $15 worth down to 250 or so. But of course, that depends on where we end up today, right? So just keep that in mind. We've got to figure out where that's going to go for the day. So other than that, the semis are looking a lot better this morning than they were yesterday. Nvidia actually didn't have a bad day yesterday. If you go back and look at yesterday's day, you can see that we actually started the day lower and then came up. It was playing around at this 120 level. We were watching this in the chat room all day. And I know that Jared and others were playing this. I mean, it looked like it was just blasting off at the open and then pulled back halfway. And then look at this, chopped sort of inside the range it said in the opening, like 10 minutes for the entire rest of the day. So, there was some opportunity in here, but it wasn't an easy trade. But it sort of, at least it ended up from where it started pre-market. So that's not so bad. I know people are watching some of the other semis. SMCI is the other semi I wanted to talk about today. Look at this, guys. It's $41. So exactly what we'd said yesterday in the pre-market show. The expectation is that after the 10-for-1 split that happened overnight, that SMCI would be about $41, and we're right on here. I think $41.50 is where we were sitting yesterday. We're just above that at $41.70. So what you should expect to see, we should expect to see a lot of volume in SMCI today. It's not really, it's going to be weird volume, right? The volume, if you track volume or you use RVol, those numbers are going to be way out of whack today because, of course, we have 10 times the number of shares available on the market today than we did yesterday. So just keep that in mind. I think SMCI is also going to be in play. It feels like it should be. I'm surprised to only see 500,000 shares traded. I actually expected more this morning, but I mean, 500,000 is actually a lot for SMCI at this time. But I thought it would just be big, right? With the 10-for-1 split, it would be big in play. So we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, and this is just going to do nothing today. But it did have a pretty significant event, so it's got every opportunity. The other one that is gapping up right now that I was putting an eye to again was BABA, and like I mentioned, the Chinese tickers. They're sort of the Shanghai and Hong Kong markets are in a hiatus for a couple of days as they're celebrating the People's Republic of China, the founding of the People's Republic of China back in 1949. BABA is up about 1/3% with 700,000 shares traded. Tough for me to know if these are going to be in play or not. Again, we had some big movement on them yesterday as they sort of caught up with those international markets, but now with them closed, it could just be sitting here. And what happened to Carlos? He disappeared on me again.
I'm here. No, I'm here, man. Listen,
You're there.
I'm intensively listening to you. I'm like, this is good.
Okay.
This is good.
I didn't see on any of my screens, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah. For a minute there, I became almost a consumer of the product here. So yeah, I was good, man. I was listening in here on what's going on with China. I actually have BABA up here this morning. Great sell-off yesterday, man. I think there's some more. There could be some more of this coming because, like you said, with China closed, there might be no new major news coming out to pump these things up again, right? So we might see some profit taken here. Who knows? But BABA was great yesterday, and many of these just kind of pulling back a little bit here from yesterday's high. So. Peter, what you have on your list so far? I'm going to copy what you have for the most part, and then I think you cover our gap up and down list already. What's on your list based on what you went through the gappers list?
I haven't done the gap down list yet, so we can go through that. Gap up, the only things I talked about that I like, as I said, Nvidia and SMCI having their 10-for-1 split. I think that should be in play, but so far it's not looking that great. DJT for entertainment purposes, just because it's moving this morning. Apparently they're expanding their TV media, which we didn't even know existed. That was about it. That's for the gap up. I mean, gap down, I don't see it on the list here, but I think I keep thinking Apple should be ready to move. Everybody's waiting for like more information on the iPhone 16 and how are sales going. They want to know when Carlos is going to buy. When is he going to help out Apple? For God's sake,
I am not helping the situation. That's for sure. We have not. My wife has not brought it up, and I'm just like, we get it if we get it. So we're not pushing ourselves, right? We want it, but it's like, who's going to do it? You're going to order? I'm not going to order it. So we're just stuck there. But I saw an article. Maybe did they get a downgrade? I saw Barclays. Something on Barclays. They had some announcement on be worried about the numbers with their sales and stuff like that. So I'm not sure what's driving them down this morning, but you can see a nice drop here, down 1.5, 1.2 million shares traded. This is going to be in place. This list looks really, really nice. So we'll be on my list.
Well, if you want to be a little conspiracy theorist for a second. That can be fun at times. So, like we just
Always.
said, everybody's waiting for the iPhone 16 sales, and the concern is they're going to be down significantly lower than before. Interestingly, there was a fire at the Tata plant in India where they produce a lot of the components for the Apple phone, and Apple was saying that, well, if they can't make the repairs to the plant and get it back online soon, they might have to move some manufacturing back to China, which they had moved away from, not completely but partially. The conspiracy
Yeah.
theory in this is, was the fire deliberately set? It would be a good escape for Apple to say, well, we didn't have the available components, so sales are down, not because people want the phone, because components weren't available. We couldn't produce as many phones as needed. So I'm we're stretching here a little bit, but that's what every conspiracy theory is, taking some actual facts and stretching it into the realm of make-believe. So there you go. You heard it here first.
Like we always our biggest conspiracy is Boeing, right? If Boeing can make people disappear, I'm sure this is very little compared to what we
that
have
one's
seen in the past, right? This is
that one's
small
scary because it
compared to
feels
that.
very real. People actually disappeared. I
Actually
mean, it's
disappeared.
just
Yeah.
if one guy dies mysteriously, that's okay. But three, you start to get to a point where you're like, all right, like something is happening here. Anyways, unalived. Yes, people were unalived. Anyways, all right, let's get back to facts though.
Yeah. Absolutely. A question over here in chat over on YouTube. If you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up. But a question here: will this port strike affect supply? Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, people manage their inventory very tight with a bad economy, right, or a tight economy. So, yeah, it will affect things if it doesn't get resolved quickly, right? If this thing goes on and the strike continues, yeah, it's going to start affecting the supply of stuff really, really aggressive. So we'll have to see how things play out. So they're in talks to get this going quickly, but if it goes south and they hold for another week or two, yeah, that could be a major issue for certain companies, not everyone. All right, gap down, Peter. Want to go through that? I have some tickers here. Maybe you could pull up since my team viewer is not working today. First one on here is SITC. SITC is the first one on the gap down list today. Up 55%. Oh, down or up? I can't tell. This looks garbage. This is probably a split or something. Reverse split. I don't know what this is, but it looks all over the place. What do we have here? This is weird. I'm showing
I'm lost. What ticker are you looking at? Because we're not
SITC. Yeah, I show this one on my list here. It is down 55%, 70% now, 269,000 shares traded. Again, it is hitting our scanners, but it doesn't look good, guys. Pre-market action looks pretty light for the most part. I'm not sure what was driving it. It just looks so bad. So, but it's leading our gap down this morning. Is this? I thought it was sitcom. That would have been a great ticker for like a sitcom or something, but it is not. It is something else. Peter, one that you know very well, integrated shipping, which obviously these services are getting affected. So ZIM is also on the list, second here on the gap down. It is down 7.1, 420,000 shares traded. Again, you're going to see a lot of these shipping companies probably taking a little bit of a hit with the strike. And if it continues, if they don't get it resolved like tonight, tomorrow, it can get worse. But Peter, I know you don't like this ticker, but today is probably the day that this can actually be in play. If depending how news comes out, I still won't be watching. I think there's still better stuff to look at. But what's your thoughts on it?
This must be big news in your part of the world, right? I mean, is it are there people striking in the streets or what's?
Yeah, they walked up and down my block, and I was like, I had nothing to do with it. I just do the pre-market show. I just report it. So you guys got to figure out where to go. But no, it's actually I believe in the port of Newark is where it's happening. So it's like down the block from me. Yeah, I think that's one of the big ones there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
again,
Yeah, it's a big port
Mhm.
strike. I mean, all the port workers are on strike. The estimate is it's going to cost about $5 billion a day for while they're on strike. So, yeah,
Yeah.
big impact here. And ZIM, it's not a surprise it's on our list this morning. With that, I mean, obviously they're going to be impacted. Does it make it tradable? That's yet to be seen. We'll see. These shipping stocks can sometimes get big volume without really doing much or giving you a tradable range. So be careful with it. I mean, it's in play for actual news today, which is different than often when it gets it gets volume. But yeah, we'll have to see this strike. Who knows how long it'll last? But they'll either, I don't know. Do they probably don't mandate port workers back to work quickly in the U.S. In Canada they do, but
Uh, I don't know how they do it here. I mean, these guys are unions and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's one of the last jobs I think that has that they have so much control of like what they can do, right? So to helping more the worker than the actual company. So we'll see. This can go on for a while, but I doubt it. They want to lose that type of money coming in.
yeah.
See, this Apple could have
All right.
used this news instead of a factory, whatever the fire, whatever. They could have used this instead, and people would say, "Oh, okay, that's better." That would have been more believable, but we'll see. All right, so ZIM, I'm gonna add on my secondary, guys. Let's see where it goes. I mean, it's in play
Oh
because
boy.
of some news. It doesn't usually trade very well, but I think it's worth watching, especially maybe not today, but if things get worse and they get extended, like if this strike keeps going, then you can see some of those tickers play out pretty nicely here. Another one is a UXIN, Peter. UXIN. I don't know what this is, and it looks pretty bad. Uxin Limited. I have no idea what this ticker is, but has been moving over the last couple of days. It is down today. It's just kind of pulling back a little bit. It is a very low flow stock, sitting at 3.3 million shares traded. So I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, I think I'm going to skip on this for now. I don't really like the action on it this morning. I'm not sure if any news worth mentioning, Peter, on this one.
Uh, no. I mean,
Okay.
it's been obviously up the last few days. This thing was trading at
Yeah.
a buck 50 forever, and then suddenly it's a $7 stock. It's funny because the last analyst change on this was 2019 that I see. So yeah, this is not a heavily followed stock. I mean, I don't. It's a truck
Yeah.
and auto
Nobody's paying
dealerships
attention to it.
out of China.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't. Yeah,
If it's out of
garbage.
China, it could just be with the Chinese overall news, right? A lot of Chinese tickers have been moving higher over the last couple of days, right, with the stimulus. So it could just be that. There might not be no actual news on it. But yeah, garbage truck for that. TRMD is the last one on my list on the gap down. TRMD. And this is down 5.5, just barely making our list here. 210,000 shares traded. And as you can see here, we got a little bit of action on the daily and it's just dropping. So not sure what company this is and why they're down this morning, but they are gapping down. I'm not sure if they're going to be heavily in play though. This thing looks like it gets very light volume. It is not a low flow. It's sitting at 50 million shares flow, so not a low flow stock, but uh, obviously seeing some weakness this morning.
This is an oil and gas company, not one I've heard of though. Torm PLC. So it's out of the UK.
Hmm.
I assume they're being impacted. I mean, who knows? They could be impacted by anything, right? We've got shipping issues, we've got storm
Yeah,
issues, but that's in the Gulf. We've got pipeline delivery issues. I mean, we got war in the Middle East. I mean, pick your thing that's affecting oil prices these days. It could be anything. Interestingly, oil prices are actually going down despite all of this, which surprised me.
mhm,
I actually got gas yesterday, and I was surprised to see the gas prices down by about 15% here locally. So it seems like everything's set for oil prices to go up. But
yeah,
anyways, I can't figure it out anymore. I just buy gas whatever price it is.
yeah. Um, but yeah, there it is, guys. That's our gap up and gap down this morning. Let's take a look in our chat. Well, Peter, before we do that, anything you like on the gap down from your list so far?
Well, gapping down this morning. I did mention Apple. They are gapping down, so I think we, could probably keep an eye on them. It just seems like there's all this again, little sideways news. People are waiting for. At least I am waiting for that other shoe to drop. Despite Apple sitting up at relative highs here at 230, so we'll see what goes on with that. Again, just a caution on the gap down. SMCI is actually gapping up But depending on your feed and what data you're looking at, like I notice here on my gappers, it says SMCI is down like 89.8%. That's actually good news because it should be down 90% because they had a 10-for-1 split. So I'll just keep reminding you, they had the big split, which means your numbers are going to be off. And again, I expect volume to be a little wonky. All your volume measurements are not going to sort of be comparative today because there's so many more shares available. But one to keep an eye on. One that's gapping down that I'm curious to see if it's going to do anything. It's only down very marginally, but PayPal. We haven't talked about PayPal in quite a while. Remember when PayPal used to be a lot of fun and we could trade that all the time?
Of course.
But anyways, they had a couple of analyst changes. They had an upgrade, and Oppenheimer actually resumed following them. I didn't know that they'd stopped, but apparently they've added them back to their tracking stocks. Surprised when I called up the daily chart of PayPal here. Let's put it on the screen. Whoops, I put it on the wrong screen. Sorry. I'm surprised to see them up here. Like August and September were good on PayPal. They moved up quite a bit. I mean, they're definitely high of the year and as high as they've been since the beginning of 2023. So this $80 range is interesting for them. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen at this point, but yeah, I was sort of surprised to see that growth. I thought PayPal would have been just going sideways to down, but they've been doing well. So anyways, but a red day so far this morning. The only other one that I'd taken a look at, I have to admit, I didn't have much time to look into it to see if it was doing anything interesting, but I noticed Walmart this morning. Walmart was gapping down marginally, down 0.1%, down 14 cents. But I sort of liked where it sat on the daily. Once again, another one that moved up, big gap on its last earnings in August, and then it's continued the drive. I know a couple of members in the room were talking about Walmart, and Walmart and I don't get along. We basically agree to stay away from each other. Actually, both the stock and the store for me, I generally try not to go to a Walmart. I don't know why, but Walmart bothers me. Anybody? I'm not sure. I have problems with Walmart for no real reason. Like Walmart's never done anything. And no, I can't say I'm a Target guy, Hector, because we don't have Target in Canada. Interestingly, Target opened a bunch of stores in Canada. We used to have a store sort of like Target called Zellers that went bankrupt, and Target bought most of their Canadian locations, opened up, and then had a management issue where they completely screwed up their supply chain. And we had Targets that looked like third world stores. Like the shelves were 2/3 empty. They never had any inventory, and they actually closed up shop after only about 2 years of a couple of years of operating in Canada. Maybe it was a little more than 2, but so yeah, we don't have any Target. Like they failed miserably in this market, again, not because they could have taken over the market, by my opinion, but they just had management issues. Couldn't get their act in gear. So anyways, so I don't know what's the Canadian, maybe Canadian Tire. You guys wouldn't have that in the States. We got Canadian Tire, oddly named store. They started selling tires. Now they're more like a Walmart than anything else. But anyways, yeah. So anyways, Walmart and I don't get along. Don't know what's going to happen with Walmart. There's no real news on it. They're in a constant war, of course, with Amazon and others, and there's lots of words being slung around, and they're competing on the digital space, right, and for delivery type business and all sorts of stuff. But I don't know. I was looking at Walmart, so that's what I got.
Yep. Okay, you got it, man. Let's take a look at our chat and see what our friends are looking at this morning. We'll start here in our members chat. So let's see here what we got going on. So right now, looking in here, what do you guys like this morning? And also we'll look in our YouTube chat in just a second. I'm looking over Apple and Google. Yeah, we did look at Apple and Google. So Apple, if you look at that one, that looks really good in play today. Hitting. I'm sorry?
I don't think we looked at Google, really, did we? I don't remember.
Oh, no, we did not.
I know
we
did
look at Apple. Yeah. Let's take a look at Google. Apple looks good, but the Google, let's see how that looks this morning. It's up at 1.4 this morning, 213,000 shares traded. So up a little bit here. Not a whole lot of volume. We would love to see more on it, but we'll have to see. It looks like it's trying to break out of this daily area. So if you look at the daily there, you do have an area where we had prior resistance back in looks like middle of August. So we might be trying to break out of that if we can. So could be fun. I'm gonna put it as a secondary. Let's see if we can get some momentum going here towards the upside. Other stocks, MU, if you guys remember, had their earnings a couple of days ago, gapped up really good. But since then, I have not pulled them up. They just been on a sale. All right, so selling down here, selling today. Got a big range in the pre-market all the way up to 109, and the price is at 103. So pretty large range there in the pre-market this morning. Could be interesting going into today's action with all the news that we have going around. Yeah, MU could be actually
I
be
don't.
really good today. I'll put it on the
I
list.
mean,
We'll
I
see.
don't.
We'll
I don't
see.
mean to get technical on you, Carlos, but by my opinion, Micron MU is icky poo poo. I don't
Oh
like it.
yeah. Yeah, I know you don't like it. Yeah, yeah. But look at their intraday action the last couple of days. They actually been the last 3 days they are trading MU old school. Right. If you look at the 27th, that was really nice drop there on the 5 minute. If you look at the 30th, was it 30th? Yeah, 30th. Also, really good clean trading on the 5 minute. Yeah, they're not trading typical MU. I agree with you. They are or kakaduru poopy, however you want to say it. But yeah, they're the last. My daughter calls everything. Let's not even get into it. Everything she doesn't like, she calls caca. I'm like, Mom, you can't say that. It's not caca. No, I don't like it. It's caca. I'm like, all right. I lost that battle. I got to pick my battles with
You gotta
these
love
little ones.
you
But I
gotta love
love it.
little
I
kids.
love it.
They
It's a
always
lot of
get
fun.
stuck on words, right? And
Oh,
the less you
it's the
want them to
best.
say the
It's the
word, the
best.
more entertaining they find it.
Mm. Peter,
It's
I can have a whole conversation with you, and the minute I say shit, it's like they stop whatever they're doing and they just look
yeah.
over. Ooh, Dad, you said the S word. Like you didn't hear everything else I said before and after, but you heard that one and that caught your attention. It's like they have a
yeah.
bad word radar just paying attention there. So yeah, Peter, I think MU over the last couple of days, it's been trading really good. So we'll see if that continues. It is not going to stay like that though. We know it's going to go back to just regular non trading ways, right? And not effective, at least not fun, not volatile. But for now, we'll put it here on the secondary list. I mean, I'm sorry, my main list. I do like them today this morning. All right, let's see what else we have going on. They're working on a gap fill. Could be, yeah, could be towards the downside. 100% I believe that, right? So yeah, it could be. All right, I think that covers our chat. I think we had everything on here, and then Maybach, you do have a CCL. CCL had earnings last was it
Yesterday, yeah.
yesterday? It was just yesterday,
Yesterday
right?
morning.
Dropped
Yeah.
and just came back up and didn't really do much after that, right? Just kind of stayed within the
Oh,
range. Today they don't look great. They got volume. CCL is not what it used to be, man. At least for day trading, it's just not as fun. I did hear Peter talk about JD and Baba again. All these Chinese tickers. I think today could be in play today. I am going to add Baba to my list. Had a nice sell off yesterday. It's got some good volume today. I have a bias. I think they're going to continue to sell off here because China's not providing any major news for the next couple of days, right? So they're not pumping this thing up here. So we could see some profit taking. So I'm going to have Bob on here, and then you can pick between JD, PDD, all these favorite ones you can look at. Let's take a few
so
from YouTube. Go ahead, Peter.
I'd be really curious while we're waiting for the YouTube ones to come in. Has anybody ever been in China during these types of celebrations here? Because they got 3 days where the market's closed. It's like I think it's their biggest national holiday. What do they do? Is it fireworks like in the U.S.? Is it parties? Is it dragon dancing? Is it they go nuts? What does going nuts mean? I have no context. I have like what happened? Is it the Chinese firecrackers and I just don't know what happens because that's New Year.
All I know is
What
that
I'm describing is Chinese New Year's.
that's New
What's
Year's.
the
Yeah.
yeah they eat bats. Oh come on now. I really don't know. Apparently firework in the streets and parades. I don't know if that's reliable from bank rags, but well yeah I picture like a 4th of July type party, but I have no idea if that's what actually happens. Like
Yeah.
do they march military down the middle of the road and you salute tanks? Like I really have no idea.
Oh man, China knows how to party, man. They do it right. They know how to party. They figured out that
Oh, yeah.
one day is not enough or 2 days. They do 3 days, and on New Year's they go like 3 weeks. Like our factory used to close for down for 3 weeks. I'm like, what are you closing down for 3 weeks for? Every year for New Year. I'm like, wow, that's the way to
Okay.
do it. We get 2 days here if we're lucky. It's just
That's how
crazy. The
you do
U.S.
it.
has got to learn. Yeah, they know how to party. They got it right. All right.
Oh, yeah.
We're all set, guys. So let's take a few more from YouTube here. Let's look at Juan. You're giving us a few. I'm just gonna take actually all the ones you gave us we looked at except Amazon and Baba. So we'll look at Amazon and Baba. Amazon this morning down a little bit, 395,000 shares traded right now. And then if we look at not really in play. I think it's just kind of hanging out there. Not much going on. And BA made a new low over the last couple of weeks here. So new low on BA today, down at 146. BA could be interesting. I mean, just bad news after bad news for these guys. So I do like BA. Watch something different today, and let's see how this continues. But yeah, they just have not been doing well, man. They just keep getting the next shoe dropping on their end with constant stuff. Did their strike ever get taken care of, Peter? I know their employees were on strike. I don't think
Yeah. You know
I
what?
heard if it got solved.
I haven't heard anything about it in the last little while. So it looks like no, they're
Still
still
going.
on strike. At least as of the close yesterday, it looks like it's still happening. So I don't know. Boeing is actually buying back their stock. They're trying to signal to the market they think it's undervalued, and they've announced a $10 billion. Oh no, sorry, it's the other way around. They're going to sell stock. Oh, my bad. I see. The plane maker seeks to replenish cash reserves depleted further by an ongoing strike. So they might actually sell some shares just to because they've spent so much money, or it's cost them so much money on this strike. They're currently sitting with a $58 billion debt load that they're trying to manage. So yeah, Carlos, Boeing might be poised for some movement. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to
Yeah.
do today, but Boeing's another one that I have to put in the caca bucket. It just doesn't trade well for me.
Oh man. But yeah,
You're
that's
welcome.
there it is, friends. We're going to add Baba to my list there. So far Nvidia, Apple, MU, Baba, and BA this morning. All right, thanks you two for providing that one. That's a good one. And I think we're set. We're at 9:15, so let's do this. We're going to Peter, if you could do webinars quickly for today. Let's just
You
do it real
bet.
quick, and then we'll hop right into levels. And levels will be tricky today because you have the screen and I don't. So we'll see how we do these levels thing.
Oh
Actually,
no,
we'll probably skip levels today unless you want to do it, Peter. Um,
no.
yeah,
I
we'll
mean, I
we'll
guess
skip levels today, guys. We've done it plenty of times. You guys know how this works. We'll do webinars and then we'll head into what our team is watching. We do levels every day, so today will be a day where we're going to give you some homework assignment where you're going to do levels on your own. Let us know how you do. All right, Peter, take it away.
so. All right, you're right. So let's do that. Okay, webinars. It's Tuesday, which means we have our strategy and trade book webinar series tonight. Jared is going to be leading this. As I've mentioned in the past, you know that we've been working with Spot Gamma, and that we've brought them in to sort of showcase their product, and a lot of people have been using, led by Jared, if I can spit it out. And Jared is going to be talking about Spot Gamma and how you can leverage it for intraday trading. So he's going to give a little bit of detail, how he looks at it, what data he finds most useful, and how he applies it to his trading. So that's tonight at 8 o'clock, our very first webinar of this month of October. So I always find that's exciting when we flip over months. Next week, Thor is going to take over, and he's going to talk about futures. So obviously you can trade equities, you can trade options, you can trade futures. Thor's been looking at futures, and he's going to give you a sort of an inside look at how he does that, what he trades, what he finds valuable, what he doesn't. So that will be next week. But this week, 8 o'clock, it's Jared. So that's tonight. Hopefully you'll join us in the webinar room for that session. Okay, as Carlos said, we won't do levels. However, let me tell you what you guys need to do. We're giving you homework today. when we do levels, what Carlos is doing and what I do when I do it is we're always looking for areas that we've seen price inflection. What does that mean? That means where a lot of shares have traded hands and we've seen points of either support or resistance. You can usually tell that on a chart by either the price has sat there for a while or it's hit a level and it looks like it's bounced off of it a couple of times. We're going to do one here just so that you guys can get an eye to it. Carlos, what stock do you want to look at?
Let's take a look at Apple.
Apple. All right, Apple's a good one. So let's take a look at Apple. So we've had a lot of movement in Apple, as you can see, over the last couple of months. What I'd be looking for levels at Apple, right? It sort of seems obvious that there's a level right at where the price is sitting right now. You notice I've got a line here across where the market closed yesterday. And I would say that's significant because look at how many times the price hit this area and either bounced off of it, right? It was underneath that price and it hit it, or it came down and it acted as support. So first off, where it hit it from the downside, look back here in July, right? It hit it these couple of days in a row on July the 10th and 11th. It hit it again from the underside, this price level on August the 29th. It did it again on September 20th. It did it again yesterday, right? And it happened to close at this price. And what is this price? Well, it's basically $233. If I go back here into July, look at when it managed to get above that price. It seemed to use it as support for 2 days before dropping below it. Again, you see here on the 15th and 16th of July, it had got over that price and used it as support before dropping. So that $233 level is significant. That's the type of thing where you want to put a level. That's what we're looking for, right? Those areas where the price seems to have some sensitivity, because when you're watching intraday, you may see that same type of behavior. It'll either bounce off of if it's coming up to that price level. Remember, these are all ranges. It won't be 233 necessarily exactly. It could be 232.90. It could be 233.15. You never know, right? There's some range in there where it just might get some price sensitivity, either stick there for a while or use it as resistance if it's coming up from the bottom, or support if it's above it and moving down. So your homework is to figure those out for your own on whatever stock you want to watch. Mark those levels so that when you get to the intraday price action, you say, you know what? I set myself a level this morning. I got to be careful. I'm going to watch and see what it does. Does it react or doesn't it? Not every level is going to work. Sometimes it's going to totally ignore it. Other times you notice it's going to use that level all day. So there you go. That's what we're looking for. Off you go into the wild. We release you. Run free. And you will. Yeah. I'm sure you guys.
Well said.
All right.
Awesome.
All that being said, let's take a look at what
Peter,
our moderators are watching. We do have just under 10 minutes until the open.
Add to that, Peter.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, one thing to add to that, like Andrew says it all the time, like the levels should really grab you by the face, right? It should be clear. Like if you have to really do a lot of research to find a level, it's not a level, right? They're usually very clear cut, very obvious levels, because if only you can see the level, guess what? It's not going to work. It's got to be a level that everybody sees, the common, that, okay, this could be an area of support, right? So, all right, guys, I think we're set. Peter, anything else? I think we're good to go.
That's it on
Brian trading live today.
We got to do the watch list.
Oh yeah, watch list. See what the team is watching. Yes.
See, look, we're all thrown off this morning, Carlos. We're just we're discombobulated.
Yeah.
All right. Moderators watch list. People are getting them in here this morning, so we'll do a quick run through. Starting with Lenny, who's going to be watching Apple, Google, Pins. We didn't look at Pinterest. Interesting. Roku, American Airlines, and Boeing. Mike is going to be watching Apple, Boeing, and Nvidia. Mike does like Boeing. I don't, but he does, so it's all his. Thor is going to be watching Bubba, Nvidia, Apple, Tesla, and the spy on the Qs. Avi is going to be watching Tesla, Nvidia, AMD. Keep in mind, he's back to trading options. Avi was one that he was trading equities, and then he moved to options, and then back to equities, and now he's on options again. So as you can see, you can easily move between the both, and his strategies work no matter what he's trading. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, Paris is trading Apple, Boeing, Nvidia, Tesla, and Bubba. Pierre is going to be watching Apple, Bubba, Nvidia, Tesla, and an SMCI. I'm actually surprised more people don't have SMCI, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just not going to be in play today. But Phil is going to be watching Nvidia, Apple, Tesla, and AMD. Brian is in with his list, watching AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, and Google. Brendan's going to be watching Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, and AMD. And Eamon, as always, very focused. He's looking for a potential long on Apple. So he thinks that level we were talking about, you guys remember what it was? 233. I bet you he's watching that. He's looking to see if this thing will get to and go over that level. I mean, we're sitting well below it right now. It looks like we're sitting at a price of 229, so we got a ways to go, but we'll see what happens. All right, so that's what everybody's watching. You guys have already heard me. I'm going to be watching SMCI. I might keep an eye on DJT just for fun. I'm definitely going to be watching Nvidia, AMD, and SMCI. Did I mention that already? Anyways, from the semi side. All right, I see that we've got Thor here. Thor is kindly stepping in for Andrew. I actually heard from Andrew yesterday. I reached out to him, and he sent me a voice message, and he was texting me. Andrew, unfortunately for us as a team, is he's just sitting in a hotel, a little bored because he can't get onto the mountain because of the storms that have kept him both, well, sort of trapped, but in the town that he's in and unable to get onto the mountain, which means he's busy giving us very helpful information and sending us all sorts of messages. So let's hope he gets back on the mountain soon. Love you, buddy. Off he goes. Awesome. Anyways, but Thor's sitting in for him.
You want him to get back in the mountain so he stops sending messages, or so he can complete his trip? I was unsure where that went. I was like, no, what?
Well, you know what happens when if you ever had a boss.
Oh, we know he's watching.
I know. You ever have a boss, like I used to have bosses, they get on planes, and I always hated when they had really long flights because you know they were going to read some magazine that's going to give them some crazy ass idea that they're going to come back with, and they're like, you know what I want you to do? And everybody, we all go, oh my God, what is the crazy idea that we've got to go try and figure it out and implement? That by the time he gets back from his trip, he's going to, one, have forgotten of, and two, not want us to do anymore. So, but if you don't do it, you're in trouble either way. So anyways, that's sort of how I feel with Andrew. Like he hasn't done anything like that. I'll give him credit, but I'm just afraid that he's going to say, you know what I want? And he's going to send us on some big excursion to build this thing. And he's going to go back and say, what the hell's that? I don't want that thing. But anyways,
whose idea was that? All right. Yours?
Yeah, exactly. Whose dumb idea was this?
Trade save of Thor and Brian. Guys, good morning. Have a great trading day. We'll let you guys get to it, and we'll see you guys in chat. Have a good one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, trade smart, everybody. Talk to you later.
I feel like we've triggered a regressive memory in Peter of some sort. Like I can feel his anxiety. Somebody did something to him once. While they were on a vacation, they came back and gave him a task he hated.
That's
but I'm with you, Peter.
Corporate PTSD, man. I absolutely have it, Carl. Thor, I used to call it the Fetch a Rock program, right? Because the boss says, you know what I want? I want a rock. And you come back, he's like, not that rock. Go get me a different rock. And you're like, what?
Give me a different rock.
Well, describe the rock. I'll know it when I see it. Just keep bringing me rocks till I tell you it's the right one. Anyways, all right, exactly. Off the trade.
My dad was like the same thing, but it was a punishment thing, and it was dig a hole and then fill the hole. But anyway, so we have an interesting day out here in the market. Yes, Brian, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, man. I'm really interested in what happens today at 9:45 and 10 o'clock. So we've got two fairly decent news things, ISM. S&P Global PMI, ISM, and JOLTS all coming in between 9:45 and 10. So things are probably going to be a little boring, maybe, and then we'll get spicier between 9:45 and 10. So what kind of spicy? Nobody knows, but it should be fun. So I got this for everyone, tradingterminal.com/calendar for anyone out there in YouTube land. Hi, YouTube. If you can go there, we actually have this sweet economic calendar that you can go into, and you can see all the like high volatility things that are going to come out, so you can kind of plan your day a little bit, more professionally. So come check that out. And then of course we have Cook is speaking at 11:10, so I don't know what that's going to do, but the market's going to be a little spicy, and then Cook's going to come out and do something. So I don't
find the sort of some of the Fed guys speaking. The only one that really moves the market is Powell, as what happened yesterday. So What's going on?
Every
right
now and again,
now?
like a Kashkari got it to move one time. That was pretty good.
Well, yeah, he's a
Solid effort.
bit of a character.
Oh,
A
I
bit
have
of
so many
a
screens.
spike in volume on Tesla. I don't know what's going on there.
So we got a
Just
new
widened.
month, obviously. So our cams are going to be a little bit funner today on our monthly. It'll be interesting to see what the market decides to do today. The NQ and the ES are both carrying large orders lower right now. So, and we've been selling a bit in the pre-market. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we're going down to grab some liquidity. If that's the case, maybe when the news comes out, we got ourselves, maybe we run for 6,000 on the ES by the close of the month. Get a super all-time high.
Maybe.
Got a month.
Tesla had a bit of a spike in volume there. I don't know what that was. Other than weird. What else? AMD just went down and touched PDC, previous day close. So it's looking a little bit weak.
Brian, are you able to share your screen in the BPT channel?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
No, you may not have his screen.
Thanks for the reminder.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Yeah. Actually, he's only paid in likes. So if
Yes,
you guys,
That's true. The
more
less likes, the
better
less
for
I get
Brent.
paid.
He's on commission.
It's also in yen, so not a lot.
Ooh.
we actually pay him in Shiba Inu.
Okay.
Ding, 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 people. Good luck.
See what
I'd say
happens.
don't do anything I wouldn't do, but that's a loose term.
See what happens. Apple's dropping a bit here. Tesla's moving up.
Tesla's in a higher range today. Apple's dropping.
Yeah, Apple dropped a bit.
Everything else is squeezing. Nvidia's got some orders to the downside near PDC. It looks like it's about to sell.
Yeah, it's hitting PDC right now.
There we go. It's sold into it, and now it bounced. Good size order was there. I don't really have anything to put on right now. Nothing really opened in a good range for me, so I'm gonna kind of wait a few minutes and let everything kind of like move around for a bit and get into some better spots. A lot of taking trades. I mean, some of you momentum traders, obviously, y'all can take advantage of this stuff, and I love you for it. I wish I could. But
yeah, I'm not keen to jump into anything quite yet. Tesla looks like it might have some downside, but it's awfully close to PDC right now.
Nvidia is leaving some pretty good size orders up behind, but it's got a really large primary at 123.
God. Yeah.
We're gonna go for 122.50 on Nvidia here.
So I'm just watching Tesla. It might be one of those days where you just need to stay away from Tesla. It's hard to say. Just hang around, might just chop around PDC here. Yeah, big rejection at R3 on Nvidia. Wow, look at Apple's really taking a beating here.
I fired a short on Nvidia off of R3.
That was nice decision there. Still some orders at 227
Market's selling like
on
crazy.
Apple.
Ooh, big bounce. I don't really like where the NQ is at.
Tried a little short on Apple, just on that pop, 227.80. Let's see if we get some more downside.
There we go.
Here we go. So order at 227.
So far, so good on Nvidia. We're into PDC now.
Yeah, right at PDC. See if it holds there. AMD's already lost that. Here we go with Apple. Here we go. Come on.
Selling quite a bit. Nvidia, it closed within like a couple cents of what it did in the prior range. So I wasn't really sure if I wanted to treat it as a higher or a lower range. So when I saw it hit a really big seller in front of the 222.50, I kind of figured that was where we were gonna. It stalled in front of a big seller at 222.50, so I figured that was a spot. But we're finding a really good buyer at PDC here. So if we start buying, the ES and the NQ just got into a really nice spot to buy. So we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm just holding.
I just covered some because it seems like we're trying to find a bottom here at above 227. Covered some at 227.30.
Not bad. We're at pre-market low now.
There we go. Nice on Nvidia. You lost PDC there.
Yeah, I'm still holding. I want 120.50 if I can get it.
Patiently waiting for 227 on AMD.
And don't forget, we have news coming out at 9:45 and then 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's going to be very spicy.
Yeah, we'll see. I didn't think those numbers really meant that much, but can always tell on
They don't.
trading.
Like, they really don't mean anything, right? They just are. You know what I mean? It's like we need something to move the market around with, and that's what these numbers do, basically. You know what I mean? That just it used to use, like, they would use like politicians. There's always been, news briefs, corporate news. They used to do all kinds of stuff. Now it's all off of this stuff.
Okay, I just got a fill at 226.96 on AMD, or Apple, I should say. Sorry about that. AMD is short too. Your Nvidia short's working.
Oh yeah, come on. We're almost there.
I don't know if we're gonna get I don't know if we're going to get to 226 on Apple here. It'd be nice if we could.
Come on. I should be good. My primary order is at 120, so we should go down and hit 120. That was close.
Here we go.
Come on.
What else
Lower.
What else we got going on? We've got Patience Padawan, yes, Gonzalo. Oh yeah, here we go. 226, baby. We can do that.
Filled. We are filled.
We can do that. Here we go.
Beautiful.
Just going to cover a little more on Apple. 226.40. Oh yeah. Wow, market's selling off. Spies at S4.
MNQ had a really large order earlier at 20,200, and it ate right through that so fast. It's crazy. Crazy.
As always, Thor and I making money.
Making money.
Making coin. Are you all out of Nvidia?
Yep. All out.
Cool.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. I think it's partly the magic mug too. We got the penguins working this week.
Yeah.
I won't show the mug because I know it gets Brent upset.
I'm just saying, if our channel gets banned, it's you, Brian. It's all your fault.
It's on me. For flashing this sexy mug.
Sharing the merch.
Yeah, boss. Hey, we should start selling these on our website.
We should have merch. That would be good.
We do have merch actually. We've got
Do we?
We do have merch on our website. Yep. Get a hat.
I could use a hat.
We could have plugged that more often.
Yeah. Get a hat, t-shirts.
Here we go.
Do we have a hat with a garbage truck?
We should.
and a picture of Peter and Carlos.
Yeah, we should get on that.
That'd be epic. We're kind of starting to absorb down here as we're trying to sell. We're definitely finding a buyer in the market here. I don't know if they're going to bottom the market if they're that kind of a buyer, but they are certainly finding a buyer here.
We get 3 minutes to your economic data. Yeah. See if the SPY in the queue level 2 is emptying out. See how much interest there is in this.
So far, fairly packed, but man, a lot of selling to start.
Interesting. Meta's catching a bid here, despite the fact that we're pretty red now. I don't know if we're going to get to 226 here on Apple, but
Nice,
I'm gonna,
KR. Oh yeah, I
I'm gonna
forgot about my
stick with
YouTube.
it here. There's some orders building in front of it. So pretty heavy selling according to the CVD. I don't like the way we're holding here, and it does look like, as you said, it looks like there's some support here on the SPY, just generally speaking. So
Yeah, definitely finding a buyer in here somewhere.
I'm cutting my position on Apple. I'm out. The rest 226.80. I'm feeling like it's trying to find a bottom here with the market. AMD bounced back. So did Nvidia. Nvidia bounced right off S3.
Yeah, good Nvidia.
Look at that, right back.
Look at
We're going right
that.
back
Beautiful.
to. Okay, here we go. We've got less than a minute to this
Ding, ding, ding.
economic
ding.
data.
So far, the book is not clearing a whole lot. So we have the 10 o'clock one might be the bigger one. That's the jolts, I think.
Well, jolts will be interesting, isn't it? Jolts is more job related.
The market really
course.
is interested lately in jobs and interest rates. Those seem to be the two
Totally.
big movers. Oh, volume. We just got volume. Right at 9:45. Whatever happened, it brought volume.
Okay.
They didn't clear the book very much, but we definitely got some volume with the news. Well, I kind of have it easy today because I already hit my Nvidia trade, so I don't know if I'm going to be doing much else. I had such a great day yesterday. I had 3 full target hits yesterday, so I'm just going to kind of hang and see what happens. If I get a really good setup, I suppose I shouldn't shy away, but nothing too fun. So news came out and we absorbed pretty well right out of the gate, but more selling coming. So far, all the selling volume that's came in has been met with absorption. So what I mean by that is as the sellers are coming in, our price isn't dropping. So that's normally something that happens prior to a squeeze. So you'll see our orders coming in, and although our green orders come in, our price can't drop. So, but now we need to see buying volume, and I'm also not seeing a lot of buying volume. So although our selling is absorbing, I'm not seeing a lot of buying. So not the moment yet, not quite the time.
Yeah, all these volume bubbles on Bookmap are pretty small.
Yeah.
Was noticing that yesterday too. Just keeping an eye on Nvidia actually right now. Looks like we might come down some more depending on the market's selling off some more here. Made a new low on the Qs. right.
QQ coming down to S6. Woo, more volume.
Wow, here we go. All right. That was a nice short Nvidia off of the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart. Know if anyone took that, but that was a nice setup on that. AMD had a nice rejection, sort of similar area, right at the VWAP.
QQ's made it all the way down to the 6s. So if we're going to find a buyer, it's got to be somewhere around here. If not, then we might not find a buyer today, at least not for a while.
Yeah, it was kind of that price action yesterday was weird. You had Powell's, kind of not, I wouldn't say being really hawkish, but he made some comments that the market didn't really like, and then all of a sudden the buyers came in and pushed the market up. So I guess the buying brigade was
good old buying
never
brigade.
ceases. Yeah, never ceases to disappoint. So I've got still holding a pretty sizable position, UVXY, just selling some here right now. It's up about 10% right now, 9%. Wow, Google dropping again. I don't know what Google was up. I don't know why they were so excited about Google this morning. Something was going on there. It was up a lot. So the UVXY position is a swing trade. So if you want to catch my swing trade ideas, I do put out a weekly video on the weekend. You can check that out.
I love that video. I watch that video almost every single weekend just because it kind of, even I don't really swing trade, but it actually helps me just kind of get an idea of what I'm looking in at the next week, because a lot of your ideas kind of correlate with those kind of movements. So I'm like, oh, okay, which is really cool.
Yeah. I go over sort of the stuff that's stuff like the events that are going to happen during the week, stuff that might be moving the market. Of course, we've got the big jobs numbers that are coming out on Friday, wages, unemployment. So, the Fed is pretty focused on that right now, that and their inflation target. Well, we got another leg lower here on markets.
I mean, we're right at the bottom of the range. So, I mean, we're like falling off a cliff right now. I mean, on the month, we have a large value area, like on Qs, at like 475, like way down there. I mean, so the further we get down, the further we can go. If we actually need to kind of find a support area here pretty soon, or we might just be rocking and rolling this direction for a while. We'll see what 10 o'clock brings. One of the things they like to do is make the market look like it is about to die a horrible death, and then release news and rally like crazy. So they'll start trapping in shorts. They'll start getting all the bulls to start selling off their positions. And then the news comes in. They do a big liquidity grab and then run all day. So don't know if that's today or not. I'm just saying they tend to do it a lot. A lot of people were asking again where to find that weekly video, Brian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's you can check it out. Yeah, it's on BBT website. If you go there, you can sign up to get the letter. We do not send anything else to you. It's just one weekend video or one weekend email with a link to the video and a commentary. So it's at the bottom of the education tab. So I don't think you don't have to be a member to subscribe to that. And if you just want to track me, it's my channel, Brian Pesum. Video is public, so. Right, just dumped. I had dumped some more UVXY there at 2760. Nvidia is really trying to find a bottom here. There's really no.
Apple is.
I know. So I was just about to mention. So what have we got these drops now? We've got 10 o'clock. Is it 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
So we're coming up on 5 minutes.
Apple's got some really big orders up at like 229, way up there. But we're way down here at this buyer near 225. That would be such a big squeeze.
But is that's more of an, at this point, I would say that's more of a no intention to fill bid. It's just way too far out of the money. But you never know with this market. We do have an order at 225 on Apple. Sitting there. Wow, Google's just about to go red. It's right at PDC right now. Chinese stocks are rallying a bit. Ooh, another leg lower on Nvidia, another leg lower on the market. Interestingly, the UVXY, the volatility index, is below high of day on this new leg lower here. So it's kind of counterintuitive.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's speaking to something here that we're getting close to a bottom.
There was someone over on YouTube who was asking me about the trade I took on Nvidia, and if I could explain that, I'll make y'all a deal. If you can prime me up with some, likes, I'll talk our production into kicking my screen on for a second. I'll show you guys.
That'd be good.
If we get 400 likes, I'll show.
But you got to hook me up with some likes though, and then I'll have them throw my screen up, and I'll show you what I did or how I did it. So a little VPA.
Yeah, try that. I've tried taking a long here on Nvidia. So 120.25.
I like your style.
Feeling like we're with the action on the UVXY. I feel like we might be overdue for a little bit of a bounce.
Yeah, I like your style.
We're sitting at the 9 EMA and the 2-minute chart, which makes me a little nervous. Let's see if we can bust through that, get up to the view app, which is pretty close to 121. Getting some decent up volume.
Yeah, we found a bit of a buyer here. Don't forget 3 minutes till this JOLTS comes out. So just be aware, like we're starting to bottom ahead of that news. So, but if the news comes out, even if it's very positive, you could actually have an incredibly large, like, dip candle or a shakeout candle that comes down and grabs liquidity.
Yeah, look at that bounce on the Qs. Now we're back at the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart on both the Qs and the SPY.
Yeah, 2 minutes till that happens. I normally don't trade outside the floor pivots like this, but we opened so low on Apple, it's actually kind of enticing. I'm going to watch it and see what happens when this news comes out. If we get a big liquidity grab, I might try something with it just for the fun of it. I've got one trade I can take, so if I lose it, I'll stop for the day. Let's see what the order book's looking like into the... Oh, okay, here we go. Look at our order book now. ES is clearing. It's not totally yet, but we're definitely starting to empty the book out a bit for this one. Yeah, it would be like a long back towards VWAP or even all the way back towards high of day.
I'm going to get out of Nvidia just because I don't think I want to hold through this event. So I made a dime on that trade, which wasn't super special. So we'll just wait to see. We've got 20 seconds before they drop this number, and then we'll see where the market takes us.
It's going to be interesting.
Here we go. Let's see the reaction. Market dropped initially. Trying to figure out whether it was good news or bad news.
We'll grab some liquidity there on NQ.
Yeah. Come back long Nvidia at 120.48.
I don't know why it's so hard to get to 400 likes.
I'm trying. I actually got to cut out of here in a few minutes for an appointment. So, 10 o'clock on Mondays or Tuesdays, I got stuff to do. So I'm happy to still explain it, but we said 400. You said, I tell you what, give me 350. I have 400. Can I get 350?
You can't negotiate with them.
Can I get 350?
Can I get 350?
350 is fine, but everybody on YouTube demands.
Can I get 348 and a quarter?
Nah.
Can I get?
Okay, I'm getting out.
There we go. Okay, we're at 360. Can I get 500? Can I get 500? No, I'm kidding.
All out of Nvidia. Yeah.
I'm going to share your screen.
All right, here we go. So before I get out of here, I told you all I'd show you what happened here on Nvidia. So Nvidia was a little bit of an interesting case this morning because you can Nvidia was starting out. It was kind of hard because it closed and opened in almost the same spot as it did the previous day. I wasn't really quite sure, but what I did notice is to the downside, even in the pre-market, we had these really large orders to the downside. So right out of the gate, we sold a really big heavy sell and then squeezed on really light volume. Right. So when you're going to play a breakout, you should see a large buy here, and then you should see us start buying into an aggressively laddered book. But we had orders left to the downside, and we did have some orders to the top side, but not enough volume.
I think your screen has frozen. Could you refresh your screen?
For easy?
Yeah, I think it froze.
No. Yep, I think I can. All right, how do I read? Let me do this. Let me go to my thing. Can't take your legs back. Sorry. Is my screen frozen on the BBT side? Yes, it is. Okay, hold on. Doink.
It works for some, I think. Yeah, I'm seeing it works for a lot of people. Maybe it's my Firefox, but I don't want to restart it because then I would have to reshare everything.
Yoink.
There we go.
All right.
It works for me.
Okay, cool. All right, so now that we have screen working. So as you can, so this is what I was showing you here for everyone out there. So now that you can see, so notice here, this is our order book. And what I use when I trade, I use a visual order book from, this is by Bookmap is what I use. So like some people use a level 2, right? Or they'll use, or a depth of market, a DOM, right? That's basically what this is, but this lets me see visually where all of my orders are. So I could see that we had a large order to the top side here, and I had a large order to the downside here, even in pre-market. So when we opened, I saw a whole bunch of selling, and then I saw buy orders coming on to the downside even stronger. But our sell orders, we didn't really get a lot in here, and as we bought up, our volume dropped into the sell order. So I figured we were going to buy. So, and as the selling came in, I shorted, and I shorted here at R3, right? Because this is on the system I use. I identified today as I kind of played it as a lower range. So when I short R3 on lower ranges, just like this. So it is technically a higher range, but the way the CPR looked for me, I just didn't feel that. So, and you could see with the compression, that looked really good. And now I took the trade in DOS Pro. So let me show you what that looked like right here. So as we opened, a whole bunch of selling came in, and then we squeezed. And as we squeezed, I felt like the volume wasn't strong enough. We hit R3 and then sold off of it. So I shorted using high of day as my stop. And then 4-to-1 target. Ta-da.
Nice. Very nice.
So, and that is my trade. So I hope everybody out there enjoyed the trade. If you did, feel free to, to throw some more likes on there, although we did get over 400, so I appreciate you very much. Otherwise,
Right on.
Andrew's misfortune, my fortune. I'll be in here basically all the rest of the week trading with my buddy Brian. We tend to make money together, so it's always a good thing for me. So and Andrew, I just have this visual image of him like on the windowsill staring at a mountain, like I'm trying to climb you. So hopefully we'll get Andrew up that. For everyone else, thank you for hanging out with me this morning, and I'll talk to you all in a little bit.
Thank you, Thor. Appreciate it. I gotta come on with my with a muscle shirt too, because Thor's always showing off the guns there. Yeah, I can see Tesla is just getting ravaged here. I shouldn't say that; it's not that bad, but yeah, it's down quite a bit and still trending lower. Nvidia is just stuck in this 120 range right now. It's just looking at Apple. It looks like it's trying to find a bottom. Same with the indexes here. Although SPY is heading to a new low. Oh, Nvidia is just breaking down. See what the Chinese stocks are doing. BABA looking a little toppy. Apple still has some orders here down at 225.50, 225. Not a lot of orders to the upside on Apple right now. AMD Low of day. Lost yesterday's low. Again, we're pretty. Okay, so SPY is testing yesterday's low right now. New low of today. Wow. We got an echo now.
Yeah, sorry, we're bringing in Paris. Paris, can you mute the chat? I'm just going to mute you, Paris, until you get that result.
Yeah, Paris, you have to mute the chat room. Otherwise, you're going to freak me out, and it's too early to be freaked out.
Is that better?
There we go.
Does that work?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can.
Perfect.
Awesome. How are you, Brian? Hello from YouTube.
Good to see you. It's been a while. I haven't seen
Yeah,
you
me
online.
too. It's been a
you've
while.
online, but yeah.
Well, how is everyone doing? I am one and done on the day on Tesla. So, Brent, let me share my screen from the chat room and then you can project it. That's
I'll do it if we get to 400 likes on YouTube.
so, guys, if you want to
Oh, we are at
see,
400. 450. But yeah, just share it in the BPT chat room, and then I can grab from there.
okay, I just did. So,
That was the last time I saw Paris live in person.
that was when? I think that was in,
That was about a year ago, I think.
yeah. Man,
It was
Tesla,
about a year ago.
wow. It just keeps
Yeah,
selling
look at
off. I'm
Nvidia's
all out on
lost.
Tesla.
Wow.
Sorry?
I said, yeah, look at, the Qs are making new lows. We did get a move back up on UVXY.
Paris, I have your screen up if you want to share your trade.
Sure. So if you guys can see my screen, I shorted the 263. 263 was the area where it has been failing from the past three times. The first time, the day before yesterday, yesterday was around 263, 264. And I was looking for the same, selling pressure on the tape at 263, 264 area. And the second I saw that selling pressure, I shorted it. Wow, this is on a free fall right now. So if you look
Yeah.
at the average true range for Tesla for the past few days, it's been between the range of $5. This was around $5 range, $5 range. This was around $8 range. This area was around $5 range. So I was anticipating from 263, it can easily go to 258, 256 area. But this is a very extended move, and this is driven by the market as well. So absolutely, Tesla can absolutely give you, now it's at a 10-point move, but I'm all out on it. I'm all out on my important levels that I had, and it continues to go down. The only thing that I did not do out of my natural way of trading is not add to my position. I usually add at these pullbacks. People who know me really well on how do I add this, but I was too aggressive on the size of initial position that I didn't want to mess up on my average. So that's the reason. But ideally, looking back, I should have added it more. But that was the only trade I took overall. I was also looking at Apple to trade on the short side, but that did not give me a pullback to 230.60, 230.50 area. That's the area that I wanted to target, but it actually broke out of it long before even the market opened. So that's, but Apple was a short as well, very clear short today. Clear sign of weakness, has been very strong on the past few days, and today was was those days where it could have easily sold off, and had a catalyst behind that as well on the news about the fire in the Apple production in India.
Oh,
Wow,
I
Tesla is
didn't.
selling off
I didn't see
by a
that.
lot.
Didn't- Yeah, I didn't see that news. There was a fire at one of their production facilities.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Hmm.
the only production house in India that Apple he gets the assembles the equipments from, and
Oh,
those iPhone they got a fire thing. So now they're thinking of moving back to
oh.
China. So I don't know if it's a conspiracy. I think Peter was talking about that in the morning as well. But yeah, so one and done
Interesting.
for me
Okay.
on the day.
Cool. Yeah, you just need one good trade. That's it. One good trade. Yeah, and I had a not a bad trade on Apple. So it's yeah, again, it's continuing to sell off.
People on
480
YouTube
was
think people on YouTube are thinking that I'm Andrew. I'm not Andrew, guys. I'm Paris. Though we look a little bit alike, but
you do. That's hilarious.
there have been times in like all the BBD meetups, there are a couple of folks who have come to me assuming that I'm Andrew, and they start talking about like all the stuff on how big of a fan they are of Andrew and everything. Like, yeah.
YouTube loves
That's
Andrew.
good.
They miss him.
Sorry, you said something, Brad?
Yeah, I'm just saying YouTube misses Andrew.
Yeah, I know, right? He was supposed to be back, but I think he's still climbing a very difficult mountain, so he should be back soon.
I think the issue is the weather's been quite bad. So for them to climb, I guess the first thing that has to happen is the Sherpas have to set the ropes, set the anchors for the ropes so that they can safely go up the mountain. So, Jesus, look at Tesla's really. So anyway, the weather's been so bad that they haven't been able to even do that. So, and I guess there's been lots of snow.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
been.
Sounds miserable to me.
I
Not my
agree.
idea of a good
I
time.
saw one of his like he did some Instagram or something live, and his face was all inflamed, like his face was all swollen.
Yeah.
And man, I don't know how he does it. It's wow. So everything is on a
My
free
idea of a
fall
good
except for BA and the Chinese market. Tesla, I can't believe my final exit. It's still $4 down from my final
Yeah,
exit.
it's still down, still going down. All those moving averages trending lower. We still have not broken out of this downtrend that we're in. All the 9 EMA and all these charts are still above the price and still acting as resistance when they do get up to that level. I don't know. It's hard to take a short position down here just because
Yeah,
one
I
of the
agree. It's getting too extended.
yeah. But on the other hand, you'd be sort of looking at catching a knife here. I mean, there doesn't seem to be a lot of buying interest. So
I absolutely agree. Not a great areas to go long, not a great area to go short either.
no. So
So,
sometimes the best trade is no trade at all. Let's just wait and see. What do we got?
and these are the
And,
times where you get the maximum FOMO. You just see the,
yeah,
you know, it's you if you miss
totally.
out on a
Yeah,
specific trade and then you keep seeing that stock going in that direction. And those are the areas you have to control yourself psychologically. If you miss a trade,
Yeah, I know
there's
that.
nothing to. Uh,
Absolutely. Yeah,
ZK,
so tempting.
your intelligence, getting a little pumpy on some volumes of the kilo.
so Tesla at 252. This was my another target that I had on my chart. Wow, it did a complete engulfing of the past 1 week in a matter of 40 minutes. Yeah.
I
And
know,
Tesla,
crazy, eh?
yeah, Tesla has that characteristic in it. A stock like Tesla has that. One day, like there was this one day before that as well. Like this day, on what is this? 9 September 5th. That was the day it dropped from 235 back to 210, which was like 25-point move on just one day. Let me
Well, if you're still short something, congratulations for sticking with it. It's definitely a day to be short, but I did not see this much of a sell-off. Still got some ways to go to some areas of support for the Qs and the SPY. Like I said, yesterday was just kind of a shocking day, seeing the markets come back after reacting sort of negatively to Powell's comments.
Man, yeah, the tape is so bearish that just with minor pullbacks on the stocks that I'm watching, Teslas, Nvidias, the tape is just there to sell off. Nobody wants to hold
Yeah,
it. They keep with even not even minor pullbacks. I would want to see a little bit of pullback, showcase some interest on buying, but I don't see any buying. So BA looks like it wants to. So BA has a news or a potential news about the offering that they're gonna come into, for which they have to dilute their
existing shareholders.
percentage. So the only thing is that the BA hasn't dropped yet is because there is no volume as much. And I am not really sure why they don't have volume. There's something fishy going on with BA. Had this been a volume, it would have easily dropped by now, very easily. But BA somehow finds uh, some buyers before it starts dropping. Ideally, a $10 billion cash offering is a huge for BA, and considering the uh, so if BA is how much is BA worth? Uh, BA is worth 615 million outstanding, 616. Market cap is 93 billion. So if they come up with 10% of their 93 billion cap, that means, yeah, at least the stock can be down another 9 to 10%, which I haven't seen
Yeah,
any selling pressure uh, on the stock yet, which is strange. They're still trying to hold, and they usually trap on these days when there's a potential news on these. These are times BA they try to stop a lot of people out because people are trying to willing to short the stock of the potential news, but it tends to rally because of that psychological price action. So I haven't touched it yet until the volume comes in, and that's why the volume is really important. The tape is really important. You need to see a continuous order flow. You don't see the order flow that you see on the tape here, like on BA right here, versus you see on Tesla. See this? This is what you want to see. Like Nvidia, you see this beautiful order flow. This is where you see that the market participants are interested on that stock. But if you don't see something like that, like BA is not worth touching, to be honest, because you don't see a good order flow for and showcasing market interest. And when you don't see something like that, the probability is that it's gonna chop around up and down, and it's gonna stop you out, maybe like jump prices, higher and wider spread. Not worth trading as a day trade. See this, like jump from 1542 to 1575 in a heartbeat, like nothing, right? These are the times where they're not sustainable. These are like up down, not worth, and you don't want to participate in a stock that you can't can manage your risk on.
Yeah, that's NYSE. So I took a little bit of a long here on Nvidia. Just looked like we were trying to find a bottom here. So move through 119. So finally, we're getting a bit of buying, but again, we're at the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart. We did get through the 9 EMA on both SPY and Q, so maybe an indication this downtrend is starting to break here.
Yeah, and Tesla
This
bounced
port
exactly
strike
from that
is
support area.
this port strike is really. I'm not sure if this is why we're getting the sell-off today, but I know none of the politicians want to weigh in on it because they don't want to offend the unions, but you know what? And I'm not an anti-union person, but I really don't think that people that have such incredible influence over the economy and can inconvenience other people. I don't. It would have been nice to find some other way to resolve the dispute.
I agree 100% with you, Brian.
I mean,
Now I'm thinking if Tesla could be a long, and it sold off down 4%, and now it's trying to find a bottoming action right now. So
yeah, right up to the 9 EMA on that bounce and then rejection. So we'll see how much of a
yeah, and it bounced from a very important support area as well. So I'm interested around this area. So I want to see if the sellers are not taking over again. If I see continuous sellers taking over again, I won't take on a long side. And so let's see, the sellers are again stepping down.
There's still some orders at 251 and a big order at 250. Whether we get there or not is
yeah. Wow. So the sellers are continuing to step down. I want to see it hold at 252 area.
Yeah, you see, and we did a 920 on the SPY. 920 for those people that don't know, that's there's the 20 EMA and the 9 EMA. So when you do get through the 9 on a downtrend or an uptrend, quite often you bounce off the 20 or reject from the 20. That's exactly what happened with the SPY. Got through the 9 but couldn't get through the 20.
So Tesla broke the low again. Just the selling pressure is so much, man.
Yeah.
And this is the beauty of watching not the price action is one thing. This could have easily been a head and shoulder pattern or a double bottom pattern. But if you don't see a buyer or a seller on the tape, like for me, I was looking to take for a long, but I did not see any buyer stepping in. I actually saw all the sellers on the tape coming in. So it avoided me or made me avoid the trade that I would have been stopped out anyways. So So that's how you can, not just the price action, not just the candles. There is a lot of information that you can grab out of reading the and understanding the order flow.
Paris, Brian, just letting you know, and YouTube chat, and everybody else, I guess, we won't have a guest today. So we're going to wrap up on YouTube at 10:30, and you
Okay.
guys can join the BBT room to continue live trading.
Okay, sounds good.
When you hear the music,
That's
you know what to do.
that's about 2 minutes from now, people. So if you joined us on YouTube, thank you. Hope you had a good day. I mean, there's certainly market gave us some good trading opportunities today. Wow, just yeah. I don't know if this is partly this port strike that started, or if it's a hangover, like sort of realization of what Fed Powell said. Maybe people thinking we had 3 cuts coming. No, I'm not seeing that moment yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are the days which are a high volatile days, that as a day trader, these are the days that you want to strive for. These are the days where you understand the volatility in the market gives you multiple opportunities. The market is already selling off, and all you have to be is find the right area of entry, uh, and which gives you a great risk reward setup, and then ride that move. So it's usually easier to say looking back, but your understanding of those volatility comes through multiple ways of looking into it. The way the order flow, the way the volume is coming in, the way the prices are moving away from the overall market is moving away from this. Understanding the bigger theme of it, and of course understanding the price action of a given stock at any given point of time. So once you understand this, these are the days where you actually want to analyze yourself and how did you perform on that particular day. There are days when it will be very choppy, and sometimes it's no reason, there's no point of hammering yourself or blaming yourself that you did not make money or you got stopped out multiple times, because the market doesn't give you those moves all the time. But when it does, that's where you have to grab and capitalize on it. But yeah, so thank you, YouTube. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
Feel
thank you.
free to like the channel, like the video, like the thing, and hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow, everybody. Hope you had a good day, and we shall talk to you soon. Cheers.
Awesome. See you in the chat room, Brian.
Yeah.